Meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve the July something meeting minutes.
Okay, we're
July 20.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Thanks.
pretty good here.
Thanks.
Get a little
Any-
bit louder.
Any comments or questions out there?
None?
Kathy?
Okay.
Let me, no, there is not.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have the approval of the minutes of August 3rd.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of August 3rd.
I'll second the motion.
Any comments or questions?
I see no hands.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And next, we have Mike for the police report.
Good evening, everyone. During the month of July, the police department handled 160 calls for service, investigated 10 crimes, had 4 arrests, conducted 34 traffic stops, and investigated 4 accidents. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Next, we have the bills list.
I make a motion to approve the bills list for $156,366.66.
And I'll second that motion.
Any questions, comments about the bills?
Seeing none.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And next up is the treasurer's report.
Am I unmuted?
You're unmuted.
Yes.
Okay. For the treasurer's report for the month ending July 31st, for the general fund, we have an ending fund balance of $2,975,115.97. I give a 2020 budget summary as of the end of month end July. Let me see. For open space, month ending July 31st, we have an ending fund balance of $2,244,339.35. Again, I give a 2020 budget summary. Capital project reserve, month ending July 31st, 2020, we have an ending fund balance of $937,237.19. Again, with a 2020 budget summary. Capital Road, month ending July 31st, 2020. We have an ending fund balance of $4,769,430.82. Again, I give a 2020 budget summary. For liquid fuels for the month ending July 31st, 2020, we have an ending fund balance of $187,377.51. And I give a budget summary. For sewer fund, month ending July 31st, 2020, we have an ending fund balance of $27,350.41. Again, with a budget summary. And in our escrows, for the month ending July 31st, 2020, we have an ending total of fund balance of $932.24. Did that come out right?
300 and some thousand, correct?
Yes, $333,932.24.
Excellent. Is that it?
That is it. Do you have any
All right.
questions?
Thank you. Any questions for Michelle?
I do not see any.
Okay. Then next up is the manager's report. John?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, in addition to the items that are on the agenda, I work with the IT company doing the transition, worked pretty extensively with the RF100 on the grant application that's later on the agenda, but also on the battery pack, not the pack, the 2 package devices for charging stations. Work with Russ on the, with Mike, excuse me, on liquid fuels. We're beginning work on a budget. Newsletter will be sent to the printers later this week, and work with Mike to help him coordinate the storm damage the last couple of storms, which was throughout the town.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have the August financial report.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I thought it'd be appropriate to review the report this time. I took the liberty of, I gotta find a document here. Took the liberty of going through the revenues and expenses through the end of the month. Found it very encouraging. General fund revenue, I'm estimating general fund revenue will be about 95% collectible. Any expenses will be between 95 and 90%. What's really encouraging is the current income tax collections year to date is about $112,000 more than they were last year. At this time of year, last month, in July was August, was a big monthly payment, so that may be related to timing of receipts, but it's still encouraging. Had been fluctuating up and down. This is the biggest positive indication of earned income tax collections from the prior year. D-transfer taxes are visibly low, about 33% of what they were last year. They will remain that way through the balance of the year. I'm estimating somewhere around 50 to 60% of the budget. The building permits, again, are all around 37, 40% of the budget, all related to activity. I took a look at the activity levels this year. Last year, the township issued a little more than about 113, 150 building permits for new family construction of all types. This year, it's under 60. And I suspect that it will remain under 60 or very close to 60 for the entire year. So that tells you the rationale for the reduction in building permits. Permits for decks and sheds and that kind of thing are relatively consistent. So it's all about new construction activity. And I would expect that going forward, that'll have a major impact on the budget. So I think, in all likelihood, the township will add somewhere between $100,000 to $285,000 in increase to the general fund available balance at the end of the year. Probably to the higher side, but right now I think that's a pretty good range of estimates.
Okay, is that it?
And
Great.
when Michelle gets the work done, she's always a little bit behind making sure that all the things are done. I work primarily with the larger numbers. They won't be modified that much, and she'll do the August report at the next board meeting.
Michelle, he wasn't saying you were behind. He says your reporting is behind his forecasting.
Yes, she does more detailed work. She writes her bank statements. I just take what's received to date. It's not 100% perfect, but it's in a 95% range. And I think for the boards having the ability to take information and make decisions at this point in time, I think it's important to have the broader picture. And Michelle is focused on the accuracy of the data and getting pennies and down to the right. And her reports are very good. They're done. They're accurate. But it's timing mechanism here that's important, especially at this time of year.
Okay.
Sarah, thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you for
Yep.
clarifying.
Certainly.
Okay, next we have a correspondence from the Historic Commission on demolition.
I don't have it in front of me.
It's the letter for the demolition by neglect of the barn on Miller Road. And it was a letter from the Historic Commission making us aware of their writing to the landowner who is Natural Lands to make them aware of the problem and the recommended remediations. So I think it's provided for our information. I don't think we need to do anything about it.
No, No, it's just correspondence.
Right.
Okay. Jumping to old business, we have the adoption of the anti-discrimination ordinance.
I make the motion to adopt
Yeah,
ordinance
but now,
one.
before you adopt the ordinance, you have to have the hearing. So let me open the hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
didn't see.
sorry, it's
That's
not,
not
I
on here.
didn't see it. Okay,
Yeah, let
Go,
me
Joe.
open the hearing and admit into evidence as Board Exhibit 1, the ordinance itself, and Board Exhibit 2, the proofs of publication that will be supplied when we receive them. This ordinance has been bannered about, so I don't feel that we need to get into details. I think it's been explained at several prior meetings. Does the board have any questions about the ordinance?
No.
Nope.
no,
Does anyone from the audience have any questions or comments about the ordinance?
I don't see any questions here.
In that case, we'll close the hearing, reconvene into the public meeting portion of the agenda, and this ordinance is now in a position for your consideration.
thank you, Joe. I make the motion to adopt ordinance number 191-2020, anti-discrimination ordinance.
I'll second that motion.
Any comments or questions?
Seeing none.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No. Okay, moving on is the approval of resolution 17-2020.
I make I make the motion to approve resolution 17-2020 revised for the property 1215 to 1225 Schoolhouse Road lot consolidation. And the issue there was a notation that needed to be added to the plan before it could be recorded.
I'll second that motion, but I have a question.
Go ahead, Bernie.
Ken, if I were to vote this down along with somebody else, does that mean we get to keep you in the township?
Not really.
Okay, you
You
got
just
my
make
vote.
it harder
All
to
right.
sell.
I tried.
No, Bernie, even if we could keep him, we'd be happy to have that consolidated to one parcel.
Sure.
So,
Yep. I wrote
okay,
that. Okay.
Okay, did you second that?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, and any comments or questions from anybody?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And
Next
Ken,
we have,
we're going to keep Ken on that committee anyway, because he's a real contributor. So if he leaves town, we can Zoom him in anytime. Thanks, Ken.
next we have the approval of resolution 19-2020.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve of resolution 19-2020. It's the 352 Black Horse Road Sewage Facilities Planning Module submission to DEP.
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions?
I am seeing none.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on to new business. We have the adoption of a speed limit ordinance, Shady Lane.
I make a motion to adopt.
We need, before the motion, we need to have a hearing on that also.
Oh.
So
okay.
at this time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
at
I'm
this-
sorry, Joe. I'm not seeing the ordinance. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, at this time, I'll open the floor to begin the hearing. The ordinance is self-explanatory. It's just a reduced speed limit to 25. I'll introduce as Board Exhibit 1 the ordinance itself, and Board Exhibit 2 is the proof of publication when we receive it. With that, does the board have any questions?
No.
No.
Does the audience have any questions or comments?
Seeing none.
In that case, we'll adjourn the hearing and reconvene into the public meeting portion of the agenda. This ordinance is now in a position for your consideration.
I'll make the motion to adopt ordinance 190-2020, speed limit ordinance for Shady Lane.
I second that motion.
Any comments or questions, Kathy?
Seeing none.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And next, we have the authorization to advertise for the salt bid, snowplow and salt bid.
Make a motion to authorize advertisement of a snow plow / salt bid.
I'll second that motion.
Any comments or questions?
I have a question. Is this both a snow plow and a salt bid, or are they two separate, or excuse me, just one item? Only for-
No, Bernie, it's snow plowing / salting. So it's the same thing. They're doing both jobs.
I see. Okay. That's okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Do we have any questions other than Bernie?
I see none.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And next, we have the authorization for submission of the Vision Partnership Program grant application.
I make a motion to authorize submission of the Vision Partnership Program grant application.
I would like to amend that motion to limit it, as East Pikeland did, to participating if there are at least 3 municipalities, which means our costs would not exceed $57.14. So to submit this if we have enough partners.
Agreed.
I'll second that motion. Yeah.
Any comments or questions, Kathy?
I see none.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next we have the approval of an amendment to the ASME labor agreement.
Want to do it, Bernie?
Okay. I'll make the motion to approve the amendment to the ASME labor agreement.
I second that motion.
And this is basically a new rate category,
Yes.
is that correct?
Yes.
It's two things. One, it brings the roadmaster into the labor union and establishes a new job classification for roadmaster labor 2 and sets the rate for that position.
Okay. Kathy, do you see any hands?
No, I do not.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 I'll make the motion to approve the video surveillance upgrades.
Okay,
I'll second that motion with questions.
go ahead.
Okay.
I guess this is for the chief. Can you describe what that is exactly? Is she still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Bernie? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernie, what we have is we purchased the surveillance system in 2013. It's an analog system. It is now 7 years old, and the technology is out of date, and there's no longer any updates available for it.
Right.
We brought in the company that originally installed that, Integrations. They gave us a quote to actually update everything to digital system and bring all of our cameras up to high definition cameras. So that includes a new system and installing all new cameras throughout the township complex.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Mike, are we adding cameras anywhere else?
This does not add any at this time. This
Okay.
replaces everything with the high definition cameras.
Okay. Kathy, do you see any questions out there?
No, I do not.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have a recommendation for payment for reclaim.
I make the motion to approve payment, the payment application number 6 to Reclaim Company LLC for Bryn Coed Farms Dairy Complex demolition in the amount of $32,917.50.
I'll second that motion.
Any comments or questions out there?
No.
I do.
Oh.
John, how much longer before the job is completed?
They'll be done in mid-November.
November. Okay, good, good. Any complaints yet from demolition noise?
I haven't heard any. It was up there earlier last week. They were grinding away. It's not as noisy as it was when they were tearing things apart.
Great, great. Okay, thank you.
And you didn't see any other comments or questions, Kathy, right?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next we have a request from the Sustainability Committee to move the meeting from 7:30 to 7 p.m.
I make the motion to approve the Sustainability Committee meeting time change to 7 p.m.
I'll second the motion.
Any comments or questions out there, Kathy?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, now we'll move into the public comment on non-agenda items.
I am not seeing anyone. No raised hands.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
Brian,
somebody-
we miss you.
Kathy, there's raised hand.
Okay,
Yeah, somebody's actually raising their hand or waving.
yeah, I see
That is
James,
Donna waving.
yeah, James Bergy.
Hi, it's Donna Brennan and Jim Burby. I have a question, and I hope Chief Cleninger is still there. During one of the recent storms, we lost our power for 5 days and we lost cable for 4 of those 5 days.
From our house, completely gone. Can you still hear me? Yeah, we can.
You're
And
breaking
so,
up. May I ask Donna to start over again because she's been breaking up from the
Yeah.
start.
okay, I'm gonna get closer to the window. We have a problem here with Comcast. Is this any better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, okay. When, in one of the recent storms, we lost our power for 5 days and we lost our cable for 4. And rendering us unable to communicate from our house in any way. And so one night, that first night, I thought, suppose we have a fire. Suppose one of us needs an ambulance. Obviously, one of us needs to get in the car and go someplace. And I thought, where would I go? And so does somebody have a suggestion on what to do in a situation like that?
Well, there's one more twist too, because our cell phone service is non-existent down here in the
Yeah.
valley, and we're connected to the internet for our cell phone to make calls to the outside. So we are completely isolated when the power is off and the cable is off.
There's certainly a lot of people in that situation.
Mhm.
Do you think maybe we ought to have a discussion with the public safety folks, get Jim Gooding in on the discussion and see? I mean, one thing would be to drive to the parking lot at the township building, but I don't know how strong our Wi-Fi is outside, so.
Well, and that would only be if they can get there because the tree's down, but yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's that,
Right.
yeah.
yeah, but many of us are in that same situation. I'm not quite as far down in the valley as you are, but everything goes out here just like that. And we did have a situation during that last storm where there was someone who was trying to get out for an urgent medical need, and the road was closed and we were waiting for the electric company to move the wires, and finally our road crew put themselves in jeopardy to get in there to make that possible. But I suspect we were hearing from them by somebody's cell phone. So
Yeah,
I
I don't know an answer for that,
Hey,
I think-
other than a cell tower
Sarah?
down there somewhere.
Mike, Sarah, can I ask a question?
Sure.
sure, that's Kirk, Kathy, for your
If-
notes.
If we have an urgent need and we need to make a phone call and we can't from our house, where do we go?
That was my question.
That's Donna and Jim's question. So
Well-
I think we have to take that and try to get back to you with to get back to everybody with an answer.
Well,
Okay.
first you would drive to anywhere you know that there is cell coverage, and that's about the only thing you can do.
But you can't, you don't know what has cell coverage, Mike, because you just don't know. It has to be.
Well,
it has
most
to
people,
be-
most
it has
people
to
that
be
live in
remote.
an area, know where the cell coverage is. When they get to that point, they can see that their cell phone's picking up. The only other option, of course, is if there's a cell tower in an area that would cover that area. But we don't have a cell tower, so I don't know if there's anything the township can do to get cell coverage down there.
No, that's not what we're asking. I'm just asking, I'm not trying to ask you to do anything except give us advice.
Right, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking we need to go see if we can create some good advice, because I think there have to be alternatives depending on where you are. And for example, as somebody said, if there are trees in the way and you can't go to the place, for me, if I walk up to the top of the hill, my cell phone won't work. So
Donna, we would certainly invite anyone to the township building that needs that, but I do have to say that this storm was very unique, in that we also lost our phone lines at the township building, and our cell phones in certain areas, they didn't work either. So it was very difficult. The storm really put a stress on all the communications, and unfortunately, some of them failed.
I think the board will be starting the process to renew both Verizon and Comcast service agreements. This clearly is an issue to discuss with both organizations and how they can help the community in these times when, things are broken down and people need to communicate. That's, I think, the best venue. Maybe, they have technology. Certainly we can talk to the EOC guy, but they would be the ones that have most technology and might be able to help residents address this issue.
Thank you.
Okay, Kathy, is there
Okay.
anybody else?
Let's see. I don't see anyone else.
Okay.
Did
Do
you
we
have
have a motion?
Right.
Wait a minute, Kathy.
I did have my
Wait.
hand up.
Dennis Ray from East Pikeland.
I just wanted to say thank you for approving the BPP grant application. I think that's going to go a long way. We have one more township to approve, which we hope is Schuylkill Wednesday evening, and we're very hopeful that that's going to pass at that point in time. So hopefully we'll go forward, and that will give us basically a leg up for future renewable energy improvements for the next 10, 15 years. So thank you, and I think you're going to see a tremendous amount of returns from this approval.
Thanks for your
thank you, Dennis.
Mhm.
Now, Mike, would you entertain a motion to adjourn?
I would.
I so move.
I'll second.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a great night and
Thank
rest
you.
of the week.
Good
Look
night.
at how much
all.
business you got
Right.
done that fast, Mike. Real good job.
I like that.
Everyone.
See ya.
Let's
Take
see.
care.
7:20,
Good night.
7:30.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night. Good night, all. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Right.
Thank you very much, Kathy.
Okay, you're welcome.